Well, good morning and welcome to Cards and Coffee with Tony. This is today's tarot card reading for the collective energy for Friday, April 17th, 2020 through Saturday, April 18th, 2020. But as always, anytime you hear this, time is limitless. And so you are meant to hear it when you hear it. Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and start by saging, smudging out this area real good. We cleanse, we bless, and we protect. Cleanse, bless, and protect. All right. Get our chakras fully aligned, cleansed, and open. All right. Thank you, Spirit. All right. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we call forth our angels, our ancestors, our guardians, and our guides to join us, please. And now we're going to set the tone for this reading. All right. Beautiful. So good morning, and how has your week been? Another week of lockdown. All right, we're going to start this reading by getting into the vortex with Abraham Hicks. All right, Spirit, what messages do we... Okay, we're going to have to move. I've got a new camera set up, and so it's sitting in a little bit of a different spot than normal. And so my table's rearranged a little bit. That was not a great shuffle, but that's okay. All right, Spirit, what message do we have for the collective today? Nope, got two cards on the table today. Okay, well, we're not going to take that third one because that's a little bit too much. Okay, but we do have two cards on the table. So let's see what messages Spirit has for us today. Okay. Up first, we have number 31, which adds up to 4, an angel number. And this is, I came as an extension of source energy. Ooh, love that. This is just a reminder to you that you are, a part of the source. You are a part of all that is. You knew that you could find your way back to the resources of your source by feeling your way and by understanding that the relationship between you and you is not one of separateness, but one of alignment and resonance. When you master the art of allowing your consistent alignment with the source within you, every other relationship will be beneficial and pleasurable. But I came as an extension of source energy. So the whole point of this is to remind you that you and your higher self are connected divinely to source love, and you can tap into it and literally create the life you want. That's number 4, the angel number. All right. And then the next one is number 47, which adds up to an 11, master number. Beautiful. I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire. Ooh, I like this. If we were a parent or anyone wanting to inspire positive behavior from another, we would do our personal vibrational work first. We would align with our source energy by envisioning the outcome we seek and by holding those involved as positive objects of our attention. We would not allow any current unwanted behavior to be the reason for our attention to them. So this is a beautiful message already starting out here. This is a beautiful. I came as an extension of source energy, and I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire. So the first thing is to remember that you and your higher self are part of, directly connected to the source, and that you can create any kind of life, any kind of reality you want when you tap into your divine alignment with source. Okay. And when you do that, you create that life that you want, and you attract it to yourself through working on envisioning the life you want. It's just as important every day, not only that you pray and meditate, but that you actually take time, spend time envisioning the type of life you want. And when I say envision, I actually mean using all 5 of your senses. Let's say you want to be a billionaire. Well, what does that feel like? What does your house you live in look like? What does the house smell like? What do you hear? What does the fabric on the couch feel like? What does, it's just all these things. You need to spend time every day envisioning the type of life you want, the type of relationships you want, because you will actually inspire this behavior within yourself. You see how what she's thinking is coming from her heart and then it's going into her head and into the universe? That's because her heart is helping her get in alignment. She's creating and envisioning what she wants, and then she's sending that energy, that vibration out into the world, and the world has no choice but to respond to it. That's just the fact of life. The law of attraction. The vibration that you put out is the vibration you'll get back. We're going to jump into the oracles today with healing with the angels. I think in the back of this card, it even says, all that is, the art of allowing your consistent alignment with the source of within you, and every other relationship will be beneficial and pleasurable. So you create the type of relationships you want. You create and it's like I said the other day, I think that I break the deck on Guardian Angel almost consistently every single day. It's crazy. There are, I think, 60 cards in this deck. Intention. But remember a few days ago we talked about inspiring behavior in people. Blessings. Seeking your blessings. Yes. And, if you want good behavior from your child, yell. Okay, if you want your child not to yell, don't yell at your child. If you want your child not to hit, don't hit your child. It's pretty simple. If you want to be respected, respect people. If you want to be loved, love people. It's just basically how that works. All right, angels, what messages do we have for the collective today? So, it's just right off the bat, the first two messages are just saying that we need to work on tapping into our source energy, tapping into our higher self, and getting into divine alignment so that we can drive our lives into the direction we want it to go. And we can actually create relationships and behavior from people in the relationships we're in by envisioning what we want and creating that vibrational alignment. All right. What messages on the table from the angels? Balance. And I love this because just yesterday, the message was about being in balance, and about how so much of us have felt very out of balance with work and life. And a lot of us are really tired of working for other people and not being able to be in charge of our own life, our own finances, and that how we wish we seek that balance. So this is very interesting. Because he's, is talking about getting in alignment with source and envisioning what it is you want from yourself, from other people in your life, so that you can, attract that to yourself. Has your schedule been lopsided lately? Be sure to balance your time between work, play, spirituality, exercise, and relationships. And this is a very interesting card to pull up right now, because with so many of us still stuck at home, I think a lot of us are probably, our time schedules are unbalanced. I know a lot of us don't even know what dang day it is, right? We're probably sleeping more than we're used to. We're probably eating more than we're used to. Maybe we're, whatever. Just we're out of balance, out of our natural rhythm. The angels know that you're busy with many earthly demands on your time. They want to help you with your responsibilities through the process of balance. Whenever our schedules become disproportionate, our energy drops. And disproportionate can be not just busy, but it can also be disproportionately bored. I know a lot of us are sitting at home feeling very bored right now, okay? We need to seek that balance back to, the pendulum swinging the other direction. Lowered energy creates the illusion that there isn't enough time in the day, so a vicious cycle of time limitation ensues. Your angels ask you to add regular doses of meditation, exercise, and play to your days. And then that is the best, because the angels want you to get out there and play. I think I've been telling you this now for about 10 days. Look what the card at the bottom of the deck is. Nature. I know that not everybody can get outside right now, and I understand that, but what you can do is at least open your windows. You can let the sunshine in. You can open your windows, let some fresh air in, and get out in your yard if you have one. Go for a walk if you're still allowed to. I know here in where I live in the South, we're allowed to actually still go out, to the parks and stuff. So if you can, go. Go if you can. Get out in nature. More than anything, we probably need to work on balancing ourselves by grounding ourselves. I think a lot of us are out of balance, maybe spiritually. There's a message. 11. I got it. 11 and 4. You got a 4 and 11. The angels are trying to get my attention, and they're telling me, hey, that's it. A lot of us maybe feel very out of balance spiritually right now. There's so much chaos, so much stress, so much anxiety and uncertainty in this world right now. And so how do we get back into this connection, this alignment with sources so that we can envision and create the life we want? We got to get out into nature and we got to ground ourselves. Take off your shoes, go outside, connect with nature, take some deep breaths, refocus, recenter yourself. And, that way you can actually ground down, release that energy, that it's causing you to hear distortion, to hear fear, and to not hear the voice of yourself, your higher self, spirit, your angels, your guardians, your guides. You can't hear them when you got all this, noise in your head. You got to get outside, you got to ground down and get yourself balanced. All right, let's see what our messages are from our tarot. We're going to just use the good old fashioned standard Rider-Waite Tarot. All right, right up first, the Page of Pentacles. I always love the Page of Pentacles. He's about bringing joy to your creating fun ways of making money, actually. And then here we have the Six of Pentacles. Generosity, giving, money, generous with your time. And then we have the Seven of Cups. That's about having choices. Some good, some bad. Okay, so angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. What messages do we have for the collective today? Okay, so first messages we're receiving today is that we need to remember that we came as an extension of source energy, that we can create any kind of life we want. We can attract to us whatever type of finances we want, whatever type of relationships we want, whatever type of living situation we want. We can bring all that to ourselves through envisioning the life we want, through envisioning the behavior we want to inspire in others and ourselves. You want to be seen, you want people to act calm and nice around you, act calm and nice around other people. That's part of it. And it's about achieving that balance. All right, up first, interesting enough, we got the Six of Cups in reverse. There we go. All right, angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. What other messages do we have for the collective? All right, I'm going to just give it a few more shuffles, and if two more cards don't come out on their own, I'm just going to... Okay. Well, we got three, and you know what? We'll go ahead and take it. Ten of Swords in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. Since we're going to have a fourth card, apparently. The King of Swords. I mean... Okay, so you got a lot of sword energy. You got a lot of cup energy on the table to start with. So that's your water signs and that's your air signs. Okay, swords are your air signs. Those are your Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then your cups are your water signs, your Pisces, your Cancer, Scorpio. Okay. So this story may be speaking directly to somebody who sun is a air sign. Maybe its moon is a water sign, or perhaps, the thing about air is this has to do with your thoughts and your focus, and cups has to do with emotions. So it could have to do with balancing your emotions and focusing your emotions, which actually is kind of what they're saying right here. Balancing your emotions and focusing your emotions so you can envision the life you want. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. And the card at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's start here with the first one up first. We have the Six of Cups, okay? But this is in reverse now. If it was this way, this is just about like your family, happy memories, things like that, okay? But in reverse, this is just about moving forward. It can be, you see these little kids right here? This can be about like actually literally leaving home, like your family, your children leaving home, whatever. But this is about just moving ahead, moving on, leaving home, being independent, moving forward. That's very interesting given I came as an extension of source energy. So moving forward, okay? So this is... here, let's just go ahead and go forward. We'll carry on. We'll get to that. Okay, so up next we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this way, this is actually a very sad card. You see how he's all like dead? All right. Thankfully, though, this is in reverse. Here's the good news. It can't get any worse than this, right? I mean, like you're dead. You can't get any worse than dead, right? It's dead. It's dead. The ending is over. It's over. It's done. All right. So since it can't get any worse, guess what? Once you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. All right. Interestingly enough, look here. This is right under, I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire. So the worst has ended, okay? We are at the worst. We have come to the conclusion. We are ready to move forward and have inspired behavior. All right. So let's come into this next one, the Queen of Cups. All right. And when she is this way, this is, the Queen of Hearts, right? She is very much a calm, compassionate, all right, queen. In general, I really do like the Queen of Cups this way. But in this position, she's very insecure, all right? She can sometimes come across as a martyr, right? She's suffering for everybody else. What's interesting about her is that in this position, she's very unbalanced. She's very, very, very unbalanced in this position. I believe, yeah, you see how she's the Queen of Cups and she's got all this water coming right up to her feet. Like normally she's balanced, she's striking the perfect balance between, land and water. But in this case, she's not. All right, she's unbalanced. She's off her feet. She's knocked off balance, okay? And then in the last position here, we have the King of Swords, all right? This is a very neat king. He's one of my favorite kings, in fact, because this is the king of your thoughts, right? Of the astral plane. This is the king who really brings in your discipline. He's head over heart, he's very, very, very much about, thinking, don't just jump forward, seek balance. So the story being told here is that Six of Cups here, okay? This is about, your, I came as an extension of source energy, right? Like, perhaps you've forgotten, you've been going at it on your own, alone. This is about leaving home. This is about going at it on your own, right? Perhaps you've forgotten that you are a divine child of God. You are a divine creation. You are divinely connected to source. You have an unlimited source of energy that you can tap into anytime and you can create it. And it seems to me that, you try to strike out on your own. And guess what? When you try to strike out on your own, try to do it by yourself, it did not go well now, did it? No, it didn't. It didn't go well at all. Well, the good news is it can't get any worse. It can only go up from here. This, you were trying to create a life for yourself, and it didn't end well. It just did not. And in the end, you got very, 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 very out of balance, right? So here we are. We're down here on the end with this king, and he is like, hey, it's time for that to stop. Like I said, we can only go up from here, right? So it's time to regain our foothold, regain our control, our composure, get our balance back. Okay, this card is really and truly about balance, and this is literally double confirmation here. At the bottom of the deck, interestingly enough, is the Five of Pentacles. We actually just drew this card, I want to say yesterday. The Five of Pentacles this is just the card about being left out in the cold, right? When it's, when it's right side up, okay? You see how they're very impoverished and they're begging and they're out there in the snow and they're cold and they're looking at that warm church. It's warm and glowing and they're cold, they're being left out in the cold. Okay. But here we have it. It's in reverse. This is about recovery, okay? Improvement. So, like I said, you've been feeling left out in the cold, but the good news is it cannot get any worse. I hear a message here very clearly, and I will show you what's underneath that. I hear a message that, maybe for some of you, as you've come home and you've been stuck at home for the last few weeks, you've been having time to spend time in reflection and quiet. Maybe you have been praying, maybe you have been meditating, and maybe some of you had lost your faith along the way. I know I had for many years, for a full decade. I was an atheist. That is true. And really what broke me was the church. I lost God because I connected God to the Christian church. It took me a long time to come back to the source, to remember that I came as an extension of source energy, to even understand what the source was, because the source is an infinite source of love. It is where all the love comes from. It's what you're created from. Everything in this world is created from, and you are an extension of that. And you can tap right into that source power, create the life you want. But perhaps you've been trying to go at it on your own. It didn't go so well. It did not go so well. And you have just really, you feel in over your head, right? You feel in over your head. Well, the good news is now it is time to get that balance. You can create this life you want. You can envision the life you want. You can achieve that balance. The good news, I mean, literally, I don't know if I have ever one time in the history that I've ever read cards said this about a Five of Pentacles. This is my favorite card right now. This is recovery. This is improvement. And then right underneath that card, look at here. 10 of Cups. That is the happy family. This is, this is the sign of, fulfilled dreams coming true. Dreams coming true. That's what I'm trying to say. Dreams coming true. Right underneath that. All right. It is time for it to be over. It's time for improvement. It's time to seek improvement. All right. Let's do one more follow up clarifier on our tarot. We're going to do the Chrysalis Tarot as always. All decks will be linked at the bottom of the deck. Oh, we got the Hierophant, Taurus energy in the house. Okay, that's interesting. Taurus, Taurus season starts next week. So maybe for some of you, the change is coming right around the corner. Maybe, sometime next week. The Pilgrim, the Page of Scrolls, which is the Page of Wands. News coming in quickly. Off on a journey. Oh, 6 stones, 6 of Pentacles. That's, charity. Oh, that's funny because honestly, the 6 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles in reverse are basically the same card. It's about charity. Charity. You got the tides of turn. The tides are turned. It's time to swing in the opposite direction and get some balance. It's time to be charitable to yourself. Angels, ancestors, guardians, gods, and spirit. What message do we have? I find it very interesting that I love that at the very end of this, we have the King of Swords, because here I was just talking about, I had lost my faith for so long. I was trying to go at it on my own, believing I was on myself. And I'm going to tell you, this is literally what my life looks like. I mean, y'all don't even know. I went through a typhoon. This is like literally what my life looked like after typhoon. Upside down and with water everywhere. Yep. I had to work really hard to get back to this balance. I had to work really hard. Tap back into that source energy to learn how to envision my life, to get back to this balance. Because then here we have the King of Swords, the King of your thoughts. And I mean, what better definition for source is there? I mean, he's the one, this is the astral plane, the king of the astral plane. When we think of source as above, so below, maybe we think of another guy below us, but we think of source above us, right? King of Swords, how beautiful. Maybe it's time for some of you to tap back into that relationship with you and yourself, your higher self and source. All right, I'm just going to shuffle two more times. And then if we don't get anything, we're just going to take the top card. All right, 1, 2, one more shuffle after this, and 3, one more shuffle. This is it. All right, we're just going to take the top card. I love that. Okay. Interesting. This is, in this deck, it's called the 7 of Spirals. This is the 7 of Wands. Wands, these are your fire signs, your Sagittarius, your Aries, your Leo. This is literally about your life energy, your life force, your creativity, your life goals, okay? This is in reverse, okay? See how, if it was going this way, see how this bear is like coming out of the cave, right? In this way, he's retreating, right? He feels overwhelmed. Oops, sorry about that. He feels very overwhelmed. He feels very, very, very much like giving up. This is the card that I lay under these cards. Okay, this always falls right here on this one. I mean, look, how much more given up can you get, right? How much more overwhelmed can you be when you're in over your head, right? That's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, I gave up. This is just confirmation about this message. So many of you are just feeling overwhelmed and over your head. You don't know how to take back control of your life. You don't know how to take back control of even what you believe, much less, how to steer, how to take the energy that you have, the connection to source, and use it. Some of you don't even know where to begin, and that is okay, because I am here to tell you the time has come. It is time. It's time to close that door, to understand that you are now ready to envision the behavior you want from yourself, that you want to desire to inspire inside yourself. It is time to achieve that balance. You are the King of Swords now. It is time. Looky here at the bottom of the deck. This is the Seven of Scrolls. This is the Seven of Swords normally. This was upside down, in reverse, I should say. This is literally about rethinking your approach, okay? Coming up with a new way, okay? Like, you see how I stand outside the door and the door's shut and he can't get in? Well, instead of giving up on that, he's like, no, I'm going to come up with a different way. I'm going to find a new perspective. I'm going to find, a new approach. Okay. So it's about looking, there is a new way, a new way to look at this. We don't have to be in over our heads anymore. The end, it can't get any worse. We've reached rock bottom. You've reached rock bottom. I know you feel overwhelmed. I know you're exhausted. I get that. But the good news is it's over. Okay. The good news is it's time to start something new. It's time to create and envision this life that you want for yourself. All right. All right. We got time for one last oracle. We're going to do the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. All right. I get the feeling that a lot of us are sitting at home right now and we're just, we're having a little bit of an existential crisis, trying to figure out what we believe, why we believe it, how we got to this point in our life, and what we're going to do to get out of it. And that's completely normal. That's a human response to a unusual situation. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'll tell you how you're going to create the life you want, how you're going to move past this, move forward, and get what you want. And you know how you're going to do that? You're going to go into meditation. You're going to go into prayer. And you're going to go into vision, to work on envisioning. And you're going to tap into that connection to source. You're going to remember that you are an extension of source energy. You came as physical extension of source energy, understanding that you would explore contrast, cause expansion, not only for you, but all that is. You knew that you could find your way back to the resources, a source, by feeling your way, and by understanding that relationship between you and you is not one of separateness, but of alignment and resonance. So you thought you could do it on yourself. You thought you could strike out on your own. You try to envision this life that you wanted on your own. And that just didn't work out, did it? It just did not. You got in over your head. You got overwhelmed. But now the time has come. This is the present. This is the future. Past, present, future. Here it is. It is time to achieve that balance. And look here. You got not just one, but two cards on the table. The first one is number 41, White Mantra Mother Protects. And the second one is number 22, the Desert Harvest. This is number 22. This comes up to 4, just like we started. We're going to end with 4. And literally what this means is that you see how in the desert everything's all dried out, and it seems like just when you thought you could not get anything left out of this life. It is dry. It is over. You feel like you have hit complete rock bottom. Guess what? Guess what? You see these clouds forming? These little tiny clouds here soon. These clouds are going to build up a great big rain cloud. And when that rain comes down and it hits this dry desert, tomorrow you're going to wake up and it's going to be full of flowers and greenery. And that's about that balance. It's about just when you think it's too dry, down comes the rain. That's about achieving that balance again, right? It's time. You've been dry. You've been parched. You've been thirsty for so long. You've been feeling alone for so long, right? You have been parched with, maybe spiritual want, spiritual desire, spiritual yearning. You've been feeling alone. You've never been alone. All you had to do was water your garden and you would have seen growth. And now is the time for that growth. Now is the time to water your garden. Now is the time to remember that you came as an extension of source energy. Now is the time to connect, to tap into that source energy, water that garden and watch it grow. Watch that, get that harvest from that desert. The desert absolutely can be harvested. Looky here, what's the next card right on top of it? Number 41, which adds up to 5. 5 is change. You go from 4 to 5, all right? From the angels' numbers, the time for change. It is time for change. It's time to get that balance. It's time to let go thinking you're by yourself. It's time for the change. White Mantra Mother protects, number 41. Something or someone is threatening the theft of the peace of your mind. The oracle comes to protect your inner serenity and sustain your belief in your inevitable progress through the protection of the White Mantra Mother. This aspect of Kuan Yin appears when you trust in your heart or peace of mind is under threat, leaving you doubting rather than believing and feeling secure rather than trusting unconditionally. Oh my gosh, Spirit, come on. You hear what they're saying? You have been feeling doubt. You have been feeling your spirituality has been under threat. You have been trying to go at it alone. You have felt alone. You have felt abandoned. You are now, look, the mess that has come of this. Spirit and Mother is here to tell you, you are not alone. You are never alone. You are divinely guided, always supported, never, ever, ever alone. This protection is absolute. Let's just jump ahead. Put your mind in the light of the divine. You are protected. Release any fear of being tainted or damaged by the energy of others. The purity of your spirit cannot be harmed. Whatever has been bothering you, allow it to do so no more. Divine protection and intervention is here for you now. Your trust empowers it to work wonders in your world. Your trust empowers it to work wonders in your world. And what is that? That's your divine connection to source. Just when you thought there was nothing left, just when you thought it was over, it was completely over. The desert was dry. There was nothing going to grow. Look, here comes those rain clouds. Here comes the time to remind you, you are not alone. Try it again. Try it again. Now is the time to show up for yourself. Now is the time to remember that you get to create. You are divinely connected to source. And now, number 11, 47 adds up to 11. Number 11, the divine master number. Looky here. It's time. It's time. It's time to seek that balance again. It's time to connect back to source. It's time to connect back to your higher self. And it is time to begin to water your garden. It is time to get back to your garden so you can harvest the fruits of your labor. All right, loved ones, let me know what you thought about this. If this was helpful, feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to hit that little bell right there next to the subscribe on my page so you always get notifications when I post new videos. And as always, continue to pray, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love you.